Hello everybody and welcome back. This is Ty with another video for you, and this is a special video I'm doing right now, and this is for Nathan Barnett, also known as Keith Apicary, if I'm saying that right. And the reason I'm doing this video is because I've sold this Virtual Boy cabinet I built to him, and it wasn't something I was planning on doing. I put a lot into this to build this, and I built it for myself, but the opportunity came to get one game that, beyond all other games, I always wanted to have, and it's this right here. It's a Star Trek: The Next Generation pinball, and someone offered to sell me one for a very good price, and so I put this up. I put the Virtual Boy up for sale, and as you see, I got blue lights here, just so you know. I put it for sale, and Nathan was gracious enough to buy it from me for the price I was asking. And what this video is, this is just to show Nathan how to operate it, how to put it together. Because I'm gonna have to take it into two pieces, which it does. It comes apart right here. You see the seam. The cabinet actually is two pieces. I'm gonna box it up and ship it to him, and I'm just gonna show him how to use it, and as well how to put it back together again when he gets it. First, I'm gonna start with the actual Virtual Boy unit. And you see right here, here's the Virtual Boy. Look right in here at the screen, you can see the game playing. There's both sides. Now to turn it on, it's simple. It's right back here. There's a switch labeled on and off. And this also uses a standard computer power cable, which I will include with it. So you just have to plug that in. Now, to use the Virtual Boy, it has a standard tilt. It has a tilt on it. You can tilt it, and when you want to tighten it, there's these two caps that go over the nuts. And you can just tighten these nuts up to tighten it up. You just put these over to make it look nice. And to adjust the Virtual Boy, so you can adjust it this way. You can also adjust it vertically by turning this set screw. And let me move back here. You see that the unit is now much lower, and you can raise it back up again. Okay. So there you go, that's how you adjust it. I'm going to turn the Virtual Boy off now, just because I'm going to do some stuff here. Okay, so now, removing the Virtual Boy, make sure it's off. You undo the cable here for the controller. It's a regular Virtual Boy cable controller. And then, we'll put this on a tripod, so you can see it. I got to move back a little bit. Okay, so you can see it right there. All you do is you just grab the back, and press the release, flip it forward, and you can take the Virtual Boy unit off. And if ever this goes bad, because Virtual Boys go bad, you can replace it with another Virtual Boy. I tested this one out. I let it run for a few days, make sure everything's working good on the display, because the displays go bad on them. And here's another thing to note. If you ever have funny glitches going on in the display on the Virtual Boy, if you just take it, a lot of people suggest, okay, well, the way to fix is the ribbon cables actually don't make good contact, so take the ribbon cables off and solder them back on again, or take the unit and bake it in the oven, not at a high temperature, but to get to reseat it. What I found is the best, a Virtual Boy display will be just fine if you use it. If you put it away and let it sit for a month or a year, and you pull it back out again, you know, with these devices at this age, they will, you'll get, you know, graphical errors. And if you just take one out, you plug it in, turn it on, leave it on for like a day, and at the end of the day, it'll work fine. And you'll find if you use it, you know, once a month, once a few weeks or so, I mean, you won't have any problems with it. I've got two units, and if I put one away and let it sit, I'll get some graphical errors on it. This is the better of the two that I have, and if you just, I mean, every once in a while you might get a little pixel distortion or something like that, and that's because I left it off. So just leave it on for a long time, like a day, and you'll find that it'll be good for a good long time. Okay, so that's the unit here, and just to put it back together, you just plug it back in like that. And additionally, grab something. I'm going to put the camera up on the marquee here. So there's the marquee. We'll turn the lights off. So it's dark. So when I turn this on, you'll see it lights up nice and red. Okay, I'm going to turn the lights back on again. The secret to that is one of these compact fluorescent party bulbs that are colored. I use a red one in there. And if there's 2 screws up on the top here, just like any arcade machine, you can do these 2 screws. You lift up the retaining bracket here, and you can take out the plexi, and behind there is just a standard light socket. You just screw it in, you take the bulb out and replace it. It should be fine. Of course, when it gets shipped, it's possible that it might not work when you get it. But anyways, if you need one, just go pick one up. They sell them at Walmart and Lowe's, Home Depot. And what I've done, I've lined the inside of this with aluminum foil, so it gets the most amount of illumination, because these bulbs are not as bright as a regular CFL. So that's, just don't pull the aluminum foil out, which you shouldn't. It's easy enough to see and not pull it out. Okay, so now to the control panel. Okay, so I made some changes to this from the how I had it when I built it for myself. I wanted to make it easier for Nathan to get in here, because he's actually going to have to get in here to put it back together again, because it's going to come apart. The screws to hold the top and bottom together are underneath the control panel. So it's real simple to get in. There's nothing, keeping someone from getting inside here. You just pull this out with your fingers. Okay, and there's a hole drilled here. If you ever want to put like a drawer pull on here to make it easier to pull out, you can. I had one on there. I did not care for it so much. Okay, so once you pull that out, all you do is you just lift this up. You can slide it, and you'll see here's the wiring inside. Can you see that? Move it in a little closer. Okay, so now I've changed the wiring in here. It was all before just all black wires, and I replaced all the ground wires with white. Now that's a little backwards from what most people normally do, but it was a lot easier than replacing all the other wires, which are soldered into the connectors. And each wire here, the non-ground wires, are labeled. So it says start, and this says joy left. So every wire in here is labeled. And for the ground wires, you don't need to worry about it. It's just a daisy chained wire. It's all the same. And when you're doing this, connect like you would do with any arcade game, you connect the positive lead to this connector right here, which is you got the top one is ground, and the next one up is where you connect the positive. And that's how you do that. Just go through the whole thing, wire it up. And now when you go to take this thing up, put this thing back together again, actually, a little wire in there. Gonna have to get in here. Okay, so now you'll see inside there, right there in the center, there's a screw. There's 4 screws in there. One there, and then 2 further back a little bit. They're not too far back. And if you have a snub nose screwdriver, which I will include one for you, it's easy enough. You just flip this up, and you just put the new screw. You stack the you put the base down, and then you put this. You put the top on the base, and you just put the screws in, and you screw them in. You make sure you line up the holes, and that's simple enough to do. Now, my only concern here was that if in the process shipping, one of these wires might come undone. And if you want to take the control panel out, there's 2 ways. One is through the Molex connectors in the back, which will work. What I suggest, if you do take those out, is stick a little screwdriver in a little slot there and pry them apart, because these are Radio Shack ones. And the Radio Shack ones are just so tight that you end up ripping the wires out before you actually pull the connectors apart. So if you just take a small screwdriver and just go, bloop, you can pop it out, and they just come right apart. So that's one way of getting in here. The other is to just disconnect the 2 flippers, and it gives you a lot more room so you can actually pull this out further. But you shouldn't have to really pull this out far at all. So there's that. And then when you go to put it back in, let me put this back a little bit. Make sure you can see it. Now when you go to put this back in, there's the ground wires, and you want to make sure everything... Oh, another thing to note is that the flipper switches, I have the connectors bent a little bit here on both sides, just so that it's less stress on them. You want to make sure that it's rotated in the right position. This one is rotated so that the switch is vertical, and then on this side, it's at this side it's at a slight angle. That makes sure that you have enough clearance for the switches above the barrels. So let me just put that back out again and get this aligned. Okay. So now when you go to put this back in, you notice that the back of the panel is sitting down in there. So you just lift it up so it's up level with this. And then you light it, and there's like a shelf on the back that it'll sit on. Now you've got it just sitting in there. You make sure your wires don't get pinched, which I already have them in there so they're not. You take this piece and you put them back in. Put it back in, and then you're all back together again. Now, I'm going to show you the back of this too, in case something in the back happens. And you need to get in there. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the whole unit around so we get the better light. I always pick it up from the bottom. I'm going to do this way. Always pick it up from the bottom when you pick it up, because if you pick it from the top, you might rip the top off. Okay, so here's the back. We've got the dedication plaque and the Nintendo serial number plate I made. And we're just going to again, point the camera in position. Okay, so here's the back access panel. It's held in together. It's held in by 2 screws right here. Just undo these 2 screws. Where's my large? Oh, here's my largest screwdriver. Come around this side here. Do this quicker. I think that's sufficient. It's just a tight, nice tight fit in here. Just remember which way is up when you're doing this. Okay, so I've got it so it's up. You just set this down the same way so I don't forget. Okay, so if you look inside here, this might happen when you get it. There's a power outlet that's screwed in there, and there's a Super Nintendo power supply right there, and here is the connector for the light up above, and then here is the Virtual Boy controller wired in to this Euro Edge connector, and then the wires run down inside, if you can see that's too dark probably, down to the Molex connector in the back. So what might happen in shipping is this might come unplugged, or the Super Nintendo connector power supply might come unplugged, so you might need to plug that back in again. Just letting you know on that. And so that's pretty much it for it. I'm going to spin it around again. Put this cover back on. And just put it like this, nice and even. Like that. You don't need to over tighten this. This is just a cover, so just make it so the screws in there. I don't want to strip the screws or anything like that, so just put it in. Okay. So now back together. So let's put it again. Okay. Alright, just going to do another little look around. I'm going to miss this. Built this for myself because I just love the Virtual Boy, and it's just something I really like. And but you know, things come up, and you have opportunities that would normally present themselves. Owning Star Trek Next Generation is something I've wanted since it was new, and I put a lot of money into one, playing one in a local pool hall. So it's really is nice to actually have one now. And I'll post a video about the pinball machine later. But this is just a little video to show Nathan Barnett how to put it back together again when he gets it, and how everything works in it. And if he ever has any questions, he can contact me. He's got my email address, and even has my phone number. So anyway, so thanks Nathan for buying it. Take good care of it. I'm sure you will. And I'm gonna miss it, but you know, maybe I'll build another one for myself. I don't know. But there we go. Thanks guys for watching. I really appreciate you subscribing, watching my videos. And also check out Nathan Barnett's YouTube channel. It's Talking Classics. It's youtube.com/Talking Classics. He's got some pretty crazy videos up there. You can see his Virtual Boy video, which is really hilarious. Again, thanks for watching.